Jamie is here as well, but we're getting Ash up today to talk about horses. But they do it together, and probably one of the favourite horses of the group is, and one of your favourites is Fluorescent Star. She's been a bit of a revelation for the stable since joining the stable 2 years ago. She's now had 20 starts and 4 wins, 8 placings, and most importantly, she was stakes place last prep. She's currently spelling at Musk Creek Farm. When is she due back into training, mate?
Yeah, what a great horse for the Dream Girls. She's had about 6 weeks off now, 5 or 6 weeks off, and she'll probably have another 3 or 4 weeks off and bring her back, and she'll be able to fire her during those summer races. And look, it was a great to get that little bit of black type for her going to the broodmare. So yeah, look, she's settled in really well at Musk Creek Farm. Normally it's a horse that hasn't really spelled well, and we've had to bring her back in early from her break, and we've always started off on the back foot with her. But this time, look, we've been out there and she's got a nice amount of condition on, and I think this will be a really nice preparation for her.
Yeah, I mean, as we sort of talked with Sam, mentioned it before, when we're sort of targeting these races through preps, it's a bit of a long-term goal, and we always tried to get some black type into Fluorescent Star, and we called it her grand final that day, and we put the blinkers on for that race, and it worked. So, yeah, sort of talk to us about, you know, how you sort of plan for these, you know, opportunities.
Look, as what me and Amy do for all our horses, we sort of give them a benchmark, a goal to work towards. Very early on, we found that she was had nice ability. It was just a matter of getting it out of her and finding what was right for her. And we obviously wanted to target some sort of stakes race. We had a great plan in going to Tassie, and look, it didn't. She wasn't right on the day. She still ran very well. And obviously after that you just sort of keep trying to chase that black type race, but you've got to be mindful too that you don't want to overdo it with that. And look, I think she had a really great preparation, last preparation. It probably seasoned her. She's been a fragile horse, and I think that trip away to Tassie's probably been making her. And I feel like as a 5-year-old mare coming back into work, this will be her best season.
Yeah, she had a bit of a liking to the Flemington straight track during last prep. Are you sort of keen to aim her at those sort of straight races again over the summer next prep?
Yeah, look, it's really good to get a horse that is able to run really well on the straight. The racing there is very well. In saying that though, she has run very well around the bend. And yeah, like I said to all you guys, when she did place in that stakes race, the job wasn't done. I felt like the horse definitely can win another stage, or definitely can win a stakes race. It's just a matter of when and where. And you know, something maybe like in Adelaide might be an option for her. I feel like early on in her career we were very hesitant to travel this horse because she's a very bad box walker, as you all know. She's very fragile, but I think now that she's maturing, the way we've seen her out in the paddock, she's very settled, and keep saying this is going to be her best season.
Okay, next horse, Hissy Fit. Another exciting Zoostar filly like Fluorescent Star. She's trialled up really nicely before you sent her for a spell. She did trial and beat a horse called Who You Reckon or something like that. And one of mid prices that they got.
Who'd have thought or something.
Yeah, we'll find it. Anyway, we don't care about that horse. We don't care about Hissy Fit. But she spelled. She did spell. She's spelling as well at Musk Creek Farm. When she sort of like to return.
Look, she's doing very well also out at Musk Creek Farm. She's a horse that's sort of very similar to Fluorescent Star, obviously being my Zeus Star. We feel like the Zeus Stars do need a little bit of time. They're horses that generally don't like to get up and go early. She's fragile. I think that whatever she's doing right now is a massive bonus. She's very sharp, great walking horse that's shown us a lot at home. And look, it was very tempting to be able to race her during the spin. There was a number of options for her, but I think patience and giving her the right time to bring her into racing at a vital stage will be the most important thing for her. As we all know, she trialled up really well, and look, she's we just tempted to bring her in, but we're just monitoring her, how well she's doing out of the paddock right now.
So I know you mentioned you've got a good opinion of her, and I assume you want to sort of get her to the city quickly. What does that mean? What does she show you in track work that gives you that opinion to rate her so highly?
Look, she's very competitive. She's a horse that very rarely. Look, we don't like leaving everything out on the track. So I mentioned it as well. It's well and truly good to obviously try to hold them up and try not to let them run too much time. But she's a horse that once she has something in front of her, she'll make sure she will run it down. And she's a very competitive horse. And look, she's a really nice horse. We really like her a lot. And even in her trials, when we've the first trial at Mornington, she was really underdone. It was a 900-metre trial. It was on heavy ground, and she won the trial very easy. So she's a horse that can overcome some certain speed bumps. And like I said, she's very competitive and just wants to get the job done.
Yeah, you mentioned she's a good walker. Interesting you mentioned that because Lenny, who picks out, as I mentioned, a lot of these horses, we have a bit of a theory that these used fillies, they don't have to be big, but they need to be good walking fillies, and Lenny's very particular about that. And she reminded us of Fluorescent Star when we saw her at the sale. She wasn't big. She got through at a very cheap price, to be honest. Looking back now, maybe too cheap. I sold it too cheap to everyone. But I can't take that back now, so hopefully we'll have a fun ride with her. The next one is the written by Colosimo 2-year-old colt, which we nicknamed Vincent. We identified him early as he was going to be a 2-year-old type, and we told you that. You seem to be leading that way. So what has he shown you in track work to date that provides you that confidence?
He's a professional colt. He's got a great nature, which is very important to be able to, have if he's going to be able to race as an early horse. He's had the right grounding work to be able to target a race like the English Spanner race, and that's the race that we'll probably head towards. He's in at the right time. Me and Amy obviously don't really try to put too much pressure on our young horses. We try to get longevity out of them. But as soon as this horse walked into the stable, he showed us that he was going to be early, and he's had a few small preparations, month on, month off, and he's just put himself to be able to run in an early race just with his own doing. We look for excuses not to put pressure on the horse, and he just keeps taking the next step.
Yeah, he's back to training, so I think this is his second week. That English Banner race, interesting race. English have introduced what they call a Pink Series bonus now. So for all female-owned horses in that race, there's a 200k bonus. So it only applies to female-owned horses. So if you're the only female owned horse in that race and you run last, you still win 200,000. So I'm sure we won't run last, but it's interesting. It's a great incentive, and it's split over a number of races, and it just happens to be that English Banner race.
We have a couple of shares left.
Yes, we do have shares left in that horse, a couple of them, and I don't know why we do, because I think he's quite exciting to us. You did mention though that you haven't mentioned. You were working with Anthony Freeman Racing for 15 years. So you've learned training methods of Anthony, which you couldn't find a better teacher, to be honest. Have you felt that you've taken a lot of those training methods into your own work, or have you now developed different styles of training through your own experiences with Amy?
A bit of both, really. We still do have our bases probably very close to the way the Freemans do it. I don't know any other way, really. I've worked there for so long, but Amy brought obviously a different variety of training methods. She's grandfather was a Hall of Fame trainer, stayers, so I think with the both of us, we put together a nice system that's worked really well, especially with a lot of the tried horses that we've got. And we really haven't had a good crack with young horses yet, but I think Vince is probably going to be the one to beat.
I think so too. I think Vincent's got a name for a horse, actually.
We can't just take it.
All right. The next one is the Zoostar Gaze, 2-year-old filly, another Zoostar filly. She's shown a bit of early promise. So Gaze is a Group 1 winner, actually, so we've got high hopes for this filly. But you've been really quite impressed with her in her early days, along with your breaker, Joe Cunningham. What is it, I mean, you haven't galloped her yet, so what is it that you see in a filly like that in the early days that really impresses you? What is it?
Look, we've all touched on, about temperament for a horse, and it makes your job a lot easier if you've got a great temperament. And once again, she's a great walker. We've seen with all the Zoostar fillies we've got that they've got a really nice walk. They get real low to the ground and they cover a lot of ground also. So she fits that mould, very similar to Fluorescent Star, Hissy Fit, being by the same stallion. And also, we just feel like that these horses do need a little bit of time. And she's only had a short prep in the stable. But look, it's sort of hard to get a guide on where she's going to measure up in terms of how early she's going to be, but we'll give her the right break to suit what she's going to be able to do when she comes back in. At the moment she's spelling, but it's a filly that we've got a lot of time for. She's got a great head, really, really nice filly. Obviously her pedigree is outstanding, so a filly that we look forward to getting back into the stable.
And finally, you haven't had a lot to do with this horse, Lawbreaker, who was just a recent addition from Kieran and David. Our early observations of her was that she was still quite immature even as a 4-year-old. So she's still out spelling at Musk Creek, and have you had a look at her just while she's spelling?
We actually kept her back in the stable before we tipped her out, just to get to know her and see what she was like. She reminded us of a horse that we had a little bit of success with, Be Amazing. A filly that looked really immature. Looked like this would probably be a really good time to spell this horse, going into the spring, getting the spring grass into her. Straight away around Dale said, I reckon we should give this horse 12 to 13, 14 weeks off just to utilise this great weather and just get a bit of grass into her. And I think once she does mature, Kieran and Dave have done a great job with her so far. She's been a very consistent horse. She'll be very suited to racing over the summer. Where there's a lot of racing on, and you look forward to getting back into the stable with a good break.
Thanks, Ash, and thanks, Amy, again. That was, they sort of complement our training team in Victoria. We're very loyal as owners. I don't like chopping and changing from training sort of groups. And these 3 training partnerships are the ones I just want to establish our backbone with. So thank you. Ash is a bottle of wine, and Amy gets a bottle of champagne. So if Kieran and Anthony had turned up today, they would have got a bottle each as well. Thanks very much.
Well done, mate.
While I've got everyone's attention, I'm going to quickly get up Lenny Russo.